So thank you, Chief, for all that you do. Thank you for accepting this award on behalf of the great city of Marque.
He's a former member of the Certified Fraud Examiners. He's a graduate of Texas A&M Leadership. And he has his MBA from Sam Houston State, all of which has been verified. And he will be helping with tonight's presentation on the state of the city's finances.
I know that since at least 2013 that this city has been dealing with bankruptcy. That's why I live here now, because everything went cheap and I bought. I have real estate here, rental properties as well as my own property. And so for this to be something that's new should not be surprising to anybody.
An 8% drop in our revenues from property taxes, and that is a very, very misleading statement. You gave me some doublespeak that it was being compared to some false numbers from the year before that were overinflated. We'll so correct those, but we've been up about 7% year over year, and so we don't need to mislead the public like we're down 8%. That's wrong. Also, I asked you about the meetings from the GLO, and nothing. I'm still not hearing anything. Now, I could go back to the GLO and get it, but it'd be great if it came from your office. We need transparency, and we're not getting that.
I've been going through old minutes, everything. Remember last year when we were talking about the wastewater treatment plant, Westward subdivision stormwater improvement. We had originally said to do it out of the CO bond. When it came to us the second time, it's been updated, and the ordinance was signed for the CO bond, but we were asked to take the money out of ARPA. So I'm asking that if we as a city can get one updated ARPA funds, what's going on with that, because everybody, even when I was sitting up there, we've asked for that for months.
He has 294,000, employee benefits has 360, and a grant account has 399,000. The consolidated is roughly healthy because we moved $1 million in a week and a half ago, in order to make debt payments, which we had to stop because we had over $1 million in outstanding checks. What ended up happening is everything was rolled up into that account. Our tax receipts, our debt service, our utility payments, hotel motel tax, and our savings account, which is our fund balance or our 90-day reserve, was put into one ball of wax. And then it was all spent down to the $1.2 million. So we should have $5 million in the 90-day reserve. We should have, it looks like about, it was $3 million for the hotel motel that we should have. We'll see those in later slides. All of those ought to be segregated so that there's no chance that you're making a mistake in how you're spending it. Then through some really heroic efforts that Mr. Ferguson and his staff did, they found that we had checks that dated back to 2016. And they were able to find out those checks that were over 90 days old was $203,000 that were just still sitting out there as if we still needed to pay it. Point 3,
Next slide.
the checks are debt owed and restricted funds. We have $820,000 in checks. We owe $673,000 in debt. We need to refurbish the hotel occupancy tax, which right now has nothing in it, of $447,000, and we need to replace the water revenues of $3.2, which means that we need to come up with $5.1 million, and that means we're upside down for all available cash, $1.7 million.
Yeah, one quick way to explain it is, in prior years, revenues have been overstated and expenses have been understated in the budget plan. And then there has not been an adequate level of control on the administrative side, not the council side, the administrative side, to ensure that when expenses are paid, they are paid out of the correct funds, or that we have funding to do them.
Can't make payroll, we got a sister company. Can't make payroll, we got a sister company. And then eventually, 5 years later, they're bankrupt. And I feel like that's what we're doing, is we're borrowing money from our sister company, so to speak, and the problem is still here, or the issue is still here. I think that borrowing money is a disservice to the taxpayers, because they're being punished for our ability to not hire people appropriately. It's I just, when I sit here and replay this stuff, it's like watching these other companies borrow the money from the sister company and pay their bills, and in the end, they bankrupt.
think that has ended, or is ending, guys?
In theory, yes.
In theory, have we considered the ramifications of that ending litigation?
Yes, sir. It's included in the upcoming budget as revenue.
And that doesn't change anything we're talking about tonight.
No, sir.
There was a one-time infusion from a company, sales tax. We were told, when we had a joint meeting with the Economic Development Corporation, that it was upwards $1 million. Is that true? Is that still true?
It may be true, but the cash has been spent.